I know everybody, we are muted. I forgot how loud this is.
It's so loud.
It's so
It's so loud. It's so loud. I think we need to find a new mixer because this one is like completely
all we can do is hear ourselves. It's insane.
all we can do. It's
insane.
crazy. You guys have no idea.
We'll have to change the settings on TikTok too
For what?
for them to hear us.
Ah, shit.
I just want to make sure YouTube can hear us.
Here, you do it. Okay. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Ari's just fixing up some stuff, and then we're going to hit some record things to get this little thing going.
Should be that easy.
Well, we hope so. We hope it's that easy.
It should be. Like, everybody should be able to hear us on all of the platforms.
Very good. Very good.
No debates.
Nope, we're just going to be talking. Just give us a sec. We'll start talking in a sec. We're just clearing up some things. And then we'll get to it. How's everybody doing today?
Do we want to bring it back up?
Sure. Don't bother me.
I don't know if talk.
Check.
Oh, I can hear it. Just in case we do need this.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Welcome to the Loving Precedent podcast. This is something that we tried once before, and we very much enjoyed it. It sounded like everybody else very much enjoyed it, and so we decided we would do it again. And if you guys were curious about like what the premise of this is, it's pretty simple. It's that we spend all this time debating actual dumb people. So we spend all this time talking to actual people that don't know what they're talking about, and what that ends up in as us pretty much talking about, well, lately it's been
Immigration.
We
Tariffs.
talk about immigration. Every once in a while, we'll throw some tariffs in. We've gotten a small chance lately to talk about what's going on in Minnesota, but not any type of detail.
All ties back to immigration.
It all ties back to immigration. So what this what this little podcast allows us to do is it's the way Ari gets me to put on shirts before I go live that actually look nice, instead of me wearing whatever cutoff or t-shirt I happen to be wearing during that time. But more importantly, it allows us to talk about all the things that we want to talk about, all the current events, all the politics that we spend a whole bunch of time actually researching, talking about, looking at, but we never actually get to talk about because mostly because I don't think it's played on Fox News.
If it doesn't benefit or favor Donald Trump, no, it's not played on Fox News. That is very true.
Yeah. So this gives us a chance to kind of do that. And yeah. Said my mic is off? I hope not. Check. Doesn't seem off to me.
Who said that?
Yeah, room mic energy? What does that even mean? Check. Turn off your microphone.
I did.
Check. Can you guys hear me?
It's going to be annoying if I have to mute every 5 seconds. It means you're not coming from the mic in front of you.
If you guys can hear me, her mic is off. So...
yeah, there's only one place you're hearing his voice from.
Yep.
You can hear him. And you can barely hear me right now because you're only hearing it from his.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird.
So... my mic's working just fine.
Worked when you put your
That's better. Was really echoey. Yeah, my mic was on the whole time. We just turned off hers.
It's gonna be echoey because it's gonna be echoey because of a few things, right? It's because it's catching the headphones.
Oh,
that's the problem. I don't even know how to turn that down, or if there's even a possibility. Oh yeah, there's that too.
I can just unplug that, and I can turn off the gain a little bit in our...
Well, every time you do that, it prevents them from hearing you. Every time you turn it down. So that's what doesn't work very well. So yeah, we can
whatever, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, we don't really need headphones. We're not talking to anybody.
We're actually not talking to anybody but each other, and we can hear each other because we're right next to
Yeah.
each other. So that's pretty simple. All right.
The only thing that'll fail is y'all will hear a video, but we won't. Or I guess that's when we could use the headphones.
We'll figure it out. I think
We'll
I've seen the
figure it
videos for the most part. Anyways, welcome in, everybody. We really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I just turned down the gain on her microphone. Well, I turned them on both microphones, so hopefully you guys can still hear us okay. But the echo should be gone. Both pretty good right now. Thanks, Ryan. We might have to get a new mixer. Maybe we'll actually have to spend money and actually get like a real mixer.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll have to spend money and get a new mixer or something. We'll figure it out. Anyways, welcome in. We have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. So, kind of hard to hear me. I don't know.
Turn up your volume. That's all I got. If you are still having a difficult issue hearing Polly, I can't
like
fix
the
it.
loudest person I know.
He projects his voice.
I'm like the loudest person I know. That's actually not even loud. I actually know someone louder than me, which is actually pretty crazy. Yeah, whenever I meet someone that's actually louder than me, it's actually distressing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to hear someone else actually be louder than me, and it's actually distressing. I
guess that's why I'm
bothers
around.
me.
I'm quiet all the time.
I'm like, is this what people hear when they hear me talk? Like, because I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. Well, anyways, welcome to the Loving Precedent podcast. If you don't understand where the name comes from, well, A, you should look it up, and B, you should probably just ask Ari later. I'm sure she'll explain it to you in general. But it actually is funny if you actually know what the Loving Precedent is. Yeah, if you actually know case law. So for all you lawyers out there that study case law, you guys are probably like,
I know it.
Probably completely understanding what it is. If not, maybe we'll explain it at the end of the time. But we have so much to talk about, so welcome on into the podcast. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We have Donald Trump going to Davos and making, well, just really showing his Biden a little bit. So that's good. We have Minnesota still being Minnesota and watching a lot of things going down there. Bongino is not having a good time there. And also we have Abigail Spanberger winning in Virginia.
Their first woman governor ever in Virginia.
Is this going to set a precedent for what we have coming forward in the United States? We'll see.
No, Virginia is not close enough. I mean, let's be very. No. Well, okay. I'll put it this way. Kristi Noem was the governor of South Dakota, and guess what? A woman still hasn't won the office of the president.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Kristi
Sarah
Noem can
Palin was the governor of fucking Alaska, and we still can't get one in the office of the president in 2 red states.
Well, if you want to be very clear, Sarah Palin and Kristi Noem are not good representations of what women can do in office. Okay, so that might have actually been a negative towards that entire situation, but yeah, we're not the best people to bring up. I'm sure we could think of some better women governors.
Sorry, they're the only ones I could think of off the top of my head, off the cuff.
Isn't the governor of Maine a woman?
Yes. No. Yes, she is. She's like 78 years old. I don't remember her name.
She's don't think that changes it.
No. That's just how I remember her, right? Because she's also the one that clapped back at Donald Trump when they're like, we're not complying with this executive order of yours. And he's like, well, then I'll see you in court. She's like, yeah, you. Or, He said something. She's like, then I'll see you in court.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh.
Well, anyways, we don't have great representation with that, but let's start out in Minnesota. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen Dan Bongino get chased out of the gas station yet? If you guys haven't seen it yet, it is great. So, as you know, Dan Bongino, the head of CBP, is in Minnesota, and I don't know, maybe he wanted some talkies or something like that, but the people there were not real happy with him being in their gas station. And so let's watch that video real quick, shall we? Ooh, let's bring that up. Oh, no. See, we're bringing up. I clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
ICE does not belong in this property at all. We do not support ICE. Get off of our property. Bye. 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 Get out of the way. I'm trying to leave. Get out of the way. Hey, trying to get out of here. Yeah. Hey. Hey, he's trying to get out of here. Hey, watch out behind you. Get the fuck out of my way! Get out of my city! You're welcome.
They literally chased him out of that gas station. And that I don't know if you saw the gentleman at the beginning, and I'll actually try to bring his picture back up. But I don't remember this gentleman right here. I don't remember whether he was the manager or the owner. And this was a raceway in Minnesota. And I don't remember whether he was a manager, whether he was an owner, what he did. But he literally got chased out. They were like, no, we're not serving you here. And here's the worst part about, and this was absolutely great. This was absolutely awesome. The people in Minnesota actually standing up for their rights, understanding that they don't have to serve anyone, and that is completely okay. But here's where the sad part comes, is not even like an hour after that, there is video of him, and I think I have the video of this also. There is actual video of him. I'm pretty sure it was a race. No, Speedway. It was a Speedway. Sorry, I think I said raceway. Speedway.
Maybe they should stop having names so
yeah,
like, similar.
Whatever, highway, Speedway, whatever. But the unfortunate thing, and this is what we're seeing all the way across Bovino. I said Bongino. Jesus, I am losing it today. Bovino. The sad part is you actually see him on the street later, and he's actually taking it out on the people of Minnesota. And that is absolutely horrible. We have that video too. I want to play that.
Greg Bovino in a tense confrontation in Minneapolis, unleashing gas on protesters.
You just got me. We had it.
Backstory of this is reportedly he and other officers went into a Speedway gas station nearby and were refused service. There was video earlier, we saw images of kind of these officers being escorted out or led out of the gas station. There's a huge crowd around them. It devolved into this, and then here you have the main face, the head of Border Patrol, really getting in there in the thick of it with these protesters. It speaks to how much anger is on the ground here.
We literally have the head of CBP going out into the street. First of all, what the heck is the head of CBP doing out on the streets? Like, shouldn't he be leading something?
No, he
in
did
an office.
No, he did the same thing in Chicago. People forgot about that. That was the whole thing. Like originally, there was a judge, an appellate court judge, that had ruled that he needed to go in and check in with them on a weekly basis. I think it was like literally Tuesdays and Thursdays, twice a week, right? And it just. Then it got overturned at the higher level, I think at the circuit court level. Very similar enough for the reason why that he's able to throw gas canisters out like that is because the 8th Circuit Court allowed them to do that just recently. This just happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't actually know about that. That's crazy that they just like allow them to do that. Like literally we are in a spot right here where the head of a federal agency that just doesn't like how he's being treated, like wasn't allowed in a gas station, you know, like just crazy, is now just gassing people. And you can see in the video, maybe I should pull the video back up so I can look at it. Nobody's attacking them. Nobody's committing violence. Nobody is doing anything to try to harm them, to try to hurt. They're just using literal chemical weapons on people, just the civilian population, and nobody even blinks an eye. This is exactly what the Trump administration wants. They want this escalation of violence. They want fear. They want chaos. They want all of these things. They don't want peace. They don't want any type of of cooperation with the citizens of these cities. They simply just want to cause pain. Like, I've seen some people say this multiple times, that cruelty is the actual point, right? We have instances of them, gassing children, gassing literal, like, 6-month-olds in cars, right? And then being denied medical care based off of that. It's very, very sad.
Yeah, that specific incident, that one's just depressing. And this is all happening in Minnesota currently, not to say that it hasn't happened anywhere else previously, right? That's why it had been previously ruled in when they were in Chicago that they weren't allowed to use chemical weapons like gas, as he's yelling out as he's throwing it on the crowd. And now they're free reign and just going after it. It's very similar to how, ICE and Pam Bondi wanted to arrest and prosecute Don Lemon for being a journalist filming a Minnesota protest walking into a church, which, by the way, I wouldn't say I necessarily agree with someone interrupting a church service. But and I know you have different opinions on that one, but he was just there being a journalist, so freedom of the press. And we just No, we just froze.
On one platform.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. I get distracted. But so Don Lemon was just there in a journalist fashion, just to record what was going on and see what was happening. And they tried to prosecute him, and luckily the judges wouldn't allow the indictment to go through. However, they did arrest the other church protesters themselves.
All right, we're having a little bit of a technical issue over here on one of those, but that's fine. Yeah, I absolutely have full difference of opinion on that. You can interrupt a church service all you want. If your church service is led by somebody that is committing like literal felonies, literal constitutional acts against people in the United States, then you're no longer protected as a church. I do not care. Like, you are no longer protected as a church in that case, in my opinion, right? I mean, honestly, I believe that half the protections that happen under, with churches in the United States is it's completely wrong to begin with, right? But especially in this case, right? Sorry, I don't know what we're having a little problem over here.
Yeah, just the landscape went down. We're not sure why. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's not like
but
we
yeah,
can't
you don't get to do that. And if you want to be disruptive to a church service isn't anything. A church service is just a gathering.
It's technically
of
a public event.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that what they did was right, but it also is technically a public event where anybody can go in and join in the service. So there's that. Kind of just goes with it.
There we go. I knew I'd fix it eventually.
Sorry, guy.
But yeah, no, so they arrested Don Lemon, who was literally just covering the event. And you know the reason that they only arrested Don Lemon was only for one simple reason, and that's because he was a journalist, and probably because he was a brown journalist, which doesn't help anything. But that's what fascists,
as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what fascist governments hate, right? Fascist governments want to fight against honest reporting. Honest reporting, yes, and they refused to prosecute him. Luckily, they refused to prosecute him, but they actually wanted an arrest out for him. That was something that the Trump administration was actually seeking, just for him going into the church for disrupting a church service, right? So we can have a pastor that is going out, disturbing an entire city, wrecking an entire city, harassing people, but if someone calls him out on that, then all of a sudden, that's terrorism. That's an act of domestic terrorism, right? Not too much different from what they called Renee Nicole Good, right? They called her a domestic terrorist.
And I'm sure they wouldn't call the ICE officers who utilized or they used a 5-year-old boy in Minnesota as bait to get their parents and his siblings.
Yeah, and funny enough, this was it's not really funny, but one of the things that literally just came up was that 5-year-old. I had videos from weeks ago where they were doing the exact same thing. They have literally been holding children hostage in order to try to bait their parents out. And there's literal video of them being like, yeah, come out and get your kid and we'll check your ID. And they're like, we'll show you our ID under the door. We'll hand you our ID or we'll show it to you through the window. And they're like, no. You have to come out here and talk to us. That is the only way. And the reason why they do that is because ICE is arresting people, right? And when they're like, oh, we have ID, we have documentation, they're like, we don't care. And they're arresting people, they're detaining people, and then people are ending up in detention centers. And they're literally being killed. Well, there was just a 53-year-old man in El Paso in the detention center there that was just killed, and it was literally strangulation. Like they found this, that it was ruled a strangulation inside of the detention center.
Yeah, and it was in El Paso, Texas. He was a Cuban immigrant. His name goes by Lunes Campos. And apparently that's actually the third death in less than a month at that facility in El Paso, Texas. But the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and their secretary has told two different stories. Originally, it was that he had a medical crisis and they didn't get the EMS out there in time and he killed himself. And then it is now that he was in the process of attempting to kill himself and they were holding him in place. And so it was still a suicide.
They were holding him in place by the neck as he was trying to kill himself. There's actually some crazy stats on that too. I don't know if you got a chance to actually look into them, but I was kind of getting into them a little bit today, where we actually saw like that there's been a huge crackdown on Cuban immigrants specifically in Florida, but in the United States in general, and where Cuban immigrants actually like voted for Trump on like this like super high amount.
They did, and that is true. But him specifically, if I remember correctly, he was actually arrested and detained from Arlington, New York, in September. They haven't deported him out yet. They haven't deported him. And he is an actual criminal with felonies. He's on the sex registry. Like, not saying he's a good person, but that doesn't excuse the act of violence that was purported upon him by ICE officers.
Yeah, absolutely. But sorry, we kind of started talking about Renee Nicole Good, and I know both of us have talked to you like in depth when doing debates and having conversations about this. But I don't know if you guys have seen, but Renee Nicole Good's parents are apparently huge Trump supporters.
So specifically, it was her father-in-law. So it's her son's grandfather, right? Because unfortunately, his dad died shortly after they divorced, and that's why she had full custody of her 6-year-old. But yeah, it's actually the the father-in-law that came out and was like, "Yeah, I mean, this looks bad for Trump. I did vote for Trump, but this looks bad for him." And looks bad for ICE, and he went on like a list of who it all looks bad for, including Donald Trump, of course. And Donald Trump, as you said, you watched the video of Donald Trump speaking.
Yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up. Donald Trump apparently went to went on TV and apparently decided that apparently this thing that was apparently called an act of domestic terrorism, this thing that was, the most horrible thing ever, now finds out that her parents are Trump supporters. And now all of a sudden it's a tragedy. It's such a mistake. I don't know if you guys have seen this real quick. I'm going to play it because Donald Trump actually goes in very specifically and starts talking about how it's actually like a mistake and that ICE makes these mistakes and these mistakes are just going to happen, and only talks about it now that he found out they're Trump supporters. Let's play the video actually.
Make mistakes sometimes. ICE is going to be too rough with somebody, or they're dealing with rough people. They're going to make a mistake. Sometimes it can happen. We feel terribly. I felt horribly when I was told that the young woman who had the tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing. Everybody would say, ICE would say the same thing. But when I learned her parents. And her father in particular I hope he still is, but I don't know, was a tremendous Trump fan. He was all for Trump, loved Trump. And, it's terrible. I was told that by a lot of people. They said, oh, he loved.
But yeah, as you can see, it's like literally the difference between a domestic terrorist in this country and a horrible mistake that shouldn't have happened. Even ICE would have said it was a tragedy. The only difference in there is they wanted to paint her as, as a radical leftist, somebody that was out there doing all of this stuff, blah, blah. And as soon as the Trump, they're like, oh, her parents were Trump supporters. And it's like, oh, it was a mistake. It's horrible. Oh, I can't believe this happened. Oh, it's so rough. And you know what? I bet you, and I'm just going to take a swing in the dark here, that now all of a sudden something with this ICE agent might actually, happen, might actually be a thing, And that's what's crazy. Like, it's only if you support me. If you support me, if your family supports me, if they love Trump, like he says, oh, if you love me, then it's all good. And we keep seeing this across like so many different things, right? Like, oh, if you love Trump, if you're a big Trump supporter, then, oh, you can commit fraud. Oh, you could be on Epstein's Island. Oh, you could do X, Y, and Z. You can do all of these things. But if not, then you're a domestic terrorist. You're horrible. You're all the way on the left. It literally, whether it's okay for political violence to happen by the government in the United States is solely dependent on whether or not you support the president.
And I mean, we've seen this time and time again, and it's going to continue to happen no matter what, because contrary to popular belief, this is one vindictive ass fucking president, and he's going to continue to be that way.
Do you remember he lied to the entire American public, and he was like, I won't be vindictive. I'm not going after my political enemies. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Like, blah, blah. First day in. And now, I believe they just ruled about Lisa Cook, too, today, right?
I didn't see that they ruled on it. They heard
they took oral arguments on it.
Correct.
Today.
And which, right. So this is actually, it's actually more surprising that they took oral arguments, because this was actually his special request to overturn a stay at the appellate level where it was currently at, where they said, no, you don't get to fire Lisa Cook from the federal, from her position as a governor on the Federal Reserve. And so that's, like, they heard oral arguments, and everyone, including SCOTUS blog. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they routinely report on everything that's occurring in the cases that have been heard in SCOTUS. And everybody seems to be on the same consensus that if anything, it's going to probably be an 8-1 majority saying that, nope, don't touch the Federal Reserve. Gorsuch literally made a comment saying that if we set this precedent now, it can be utilized by a Democrat.
That where did I hear that before? I swear I heard that exact same thing. Oh, it was when they were getting ready to get rid of the filibuster. That's what it was. Like,
yeah,
the big argument. Yeah, the big argument for the for like not getting rid of the filibuster is just like, oh yeah, if Democrats get in power, and they can use the exact same thing, and we're the only stop on it, right? Yeah, with the immunity thing too. Someone actually just mentioned immunity, and someone was like, oh yeah, that's going to apply to Democrats also. But for some reason, I have a feeling that this super conservative Supreme Court is going to have a difference of opinion when it comes to immunity. The next Democrat that gets in there.
Of course, I would not be surprised if somehow it becomes like whatever the next president is. Actually, let's just assume that Biden survives, right? And then, because I know that he rang the bell on his cancer like a month ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But then that's just for the tumor. I don't know if it's still there or not. But let's just say towards the end of Trump's presidency, they try to sue, the Department of Justice tries to press charges of some kind or another against Biden, and it makes it all the way up to the appellate court. So it'd be a Biden v. United States instead of a Trump v. Texas. And they'll overturn the Trump v. Texas, because then Trump will be out of office and probably also not living for like 10 more years.
Honestly, at the rate this guy eats McDonald's, I don't know how he's still here already. And I don't know if you heard him or not at in Davos, but he's not doing great. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
He's just
saying words.
Yeah, he's not doing great. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to see him or not, but
it's great.
I don't know if you've seen this one, but we got to show you guys this one because this is absolutely great.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection. It's a very small ask compared to what we have given them for many, many decades. I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
If you say no, we'll remember, guys. Also, Iceland is now Greenland. And not to mention that Caroline Levitt backed this up on her Twitter page, saying that no, he meant what he said. He did mean Iceland in referring to Greenland because Greenland is a land of ice.
Wasn't that like in a movie? Wasn't that in like a movie or something?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
Greenland is full of ice and Iceland is very nice. That was from like a movie or something. Like, I don't remember, like when I was a kid or something. I'm going to play this video. Mighty Ducks. Thank you, guys. It was in the Mighty Ducks. I knew that there was something.
Oh, good
I knew
job.
it was there anyway. Real quick, y'all. I'm going to replay this. I'm going to turn to this video on again. I just want to see if the volume is.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few
There you
days
go.
when
I
I
must
told
have
them
accidentally
about
clicked the volume
Iceland,
down.
they
I'm
loved
sorry.
me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection. It's a very small ask compared to what we have given them for many, many decades. I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. So we want a piece of ice for world protection.
All right, that's enough of that. But regards, what is up with the daddy kink thing? I don't understand. I truly don't understand what is up with people in the daddy kink thing.
I definitely blame Matt Rutte, the head of NATO right now, for starting that because he's the one that called him daddy.
Jesus.
Like Trump is daddy. And then of course that Trump met with Matt Rutte after he had his hour 30-minute speech plus a little sit down interview. Then he met with him, and according to Trump, he's going to cancel all the tariffs, right? This was yesterday, of course, because they're working out a deal for the United States to acquire Greenland. But even Matt Rutte, who did call him daddy, still weird.
So weird,
I don't
dude.
understand
It's
it
so
ever.
weird.
But did call him daddy, said it's not about the United States acquiring Greenland. It's just about NATO and the combined forces actually putting more military bases there, military personnel, taking their security more seriously, and looking into the supposed threats that Donald Trump says they're getting from Russia and China.
Yeah, so I've read some things, and pretty much parts of the deal that they're talking about is pretty much making like sovereign land on Greenland in order to put U.S. military base. This is for Donald Trump's Golden Dome or whatever he's trying to create up there. But they have pretty much, Denmark has completely denied like that they're going to give any sovereign land to the United States up there, and they're announcing this this deal, but this deal isn't anything yet. It's just
it's
no
something
different
past
from
what already
Donald Trump and
exists.
his 8 wars, right?
Oh gosh,
We're just going to announce that I stopped 8 wars, and then we'll go from there. But you do realize the last time Denmark sold a piece of land to the United States,
it was Epstein's Island.
a little St. James Island, okay, which has also better known
was
Epstein
repurchased
Island.
in the early 90s or sometime in the 90s.
1917?
Yeah.
that
Oh,
right?
no, I was talking about when Epstein bought it as a
Oh,
private
gotcha.
sale from the United States government, right? But what I like to see afterwards is there was something floating in the market that other countries were going to start selling off their United States bonds.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, guess what he did? He said, because he can't live it down, right? Trump threatened retaliation to European countries if they were to sell off U.S. Treasury bonds, as the Danish were already looking to divest the funds that they had.
Oh, the consequences of my own actions.
And
That
then
is-
he's going to cry about it afterwards, right?
He literally thinks he can just do all this stuff and just nobody will retaliate at all. He thinks he acts with like complete immunity, and he doesn't even know what country he's actually going after. It was actually I actually saw the best idea that I don't even know where I saw it on, but the best idea I've heard so far is just take Trump, put him on a plane, send him to Alaska, and just tell him it's Greenland.
He might believe it.
And then just be like, yeah, we acquired it. We already won. And then he can just go back to the White House and be happy, and then the whole thing will be over.
The problem is there's too many walking bobbleheads that would have to keep that a thing. Someone's going to be like, you just went to Alaska,
He listens
sir.
to 4 people. Okay,
Yeah,
like
that's too many walking bobbleheads.
And he listens to it's like Stephen Miller, JD Vance,
Are we sure he listens to JD?
Stephen Miller.
I'm just saying.
I think he listens. I think JD Vance also listens to Stephen Miller. Actually, now that I think
Yeah,
about
it all just circles back to Stephen Russ Vought.
He probably listens to. Is it Rush Vought or Rush Vote?
Vote.
Whatever. I don't know. He listens to him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the Heritage Foundation, and then whoever happens to be talking on Fox News at that exact moment.
Or whoever's right in his face at that exact moment.
Fox News is easily bought off. If you could just pay them to tell him it was Alaska, 100% he believes it.
Ooh, too bad I don't have the capital to help out with that one. That would be interesting though. But did you guys know that also, according to Trump, that China doesn't have windmills? Like the windmills to produce energy.
They are literally one of the largest producers of wind energy in the entire fucking world.
Yeah, but they just have them on fake display. They're not actually moving.
Oh, it's like that fake city they had in North Korea.
Yes.
I've actually seen that.
You know what
I've seen that in real life. Well, not like I didn't go into North Korea, but like they're in South Korea. They like if you go up to like the DMZ, there's like a telescope, and you get like a bunch of telescopes you can pay, and you can see into the fake city.
That's odd. That's so odd. I don't know. I don't know what else they got on that one. But you should play the video where Donald Trump has a very good misspeak when he's on his rampage about Europe.
Oh yeah, it shows really how good he's. Donald Trump's doing great, guys. I just want to let you guys know he is definitely not in mental decline. He is definitely doing awesome. Like it's great. Y'all, but before we go to that, hey, I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you. Like I said, this is only the second time we're doing this podcast. But if you guys support this and you guys want to keep seeing us do things like this, we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please, can you guys tap the screen, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. If you'd like to support, we do have pay links in our bios. Live gift goal is up, and we have super chats, super stickers, all that stuff. So please help support the podcast. I really appreciate you guys, and yeah, we really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. It is really what allows us to do more things like this, and maybe a little less debating where we actually get to talk about it. So your support really means a lot. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's look at Donald Trump just doing great. Let's forget about
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies. Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable, and we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good.
All right, sorry. I have to stop it there. All right. I want to see Europe go good.
I want to see Europe go good, guys.
I want to see Europe go good.
How do you go good?
That is the most ridiculous. Like, what in the Alabama education system? And y'all are trying to convince me that this guy is going to save America. Y'all are trying to convince me that this guy is going to save America, but he wants to see Europe go good. This is what we're saying here. And let's also be very clear. And I don't want to. And I'm going to replay that part of the video in a second because I don't think we can miss that. Right? Like we have to hear that again. But let's just be very clear when he says, "I've seen people go to Europe and you're not like, it's not how it was." What he means is not as white. Can we just call it what it is? He means not as white, right? He's seeing more brown people in Europe, and his friends who don't like brown people are going there and be like, "Oh, I remember when Europe was a lot more white, and I don't like that anymore." Okay, so let's just be clear. That's what he's saying.
I think he's just been listening to fucking Stephen Miller too much.
Any listening to Stephen Miller is too much. Okay, but I have to replay that again. We have to hear this again.
Respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies. Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable.
White.
And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it.
So many brown people.
And that's not in a positive way. That's in a
because he doesn't think brown people are positive.
Very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good.
I want to see Europe go good with more whites. That's what he's saying.
I want to see the Europe go good, guys. It's such an awkward statement, and I can't fix that.
In his defense, okay, they do teach you this. All right. They do teach you this when you're sorry, I was not expecting the cat to jump on the screen here. All right, sorry. When they do teach you this in speech writing, right? They tell you like, hey, whenever you're doing speeches, whenever you're doing public speaking, speak to your audience, right?
He thinks everybody is 5.
No, he thinks his Trump supporters would understand, I want Europe to go good. And he thinks that would be something that would be very,
Do you guys understand that? How do you go good? Can somebody tell me how Europe I want to see Europe go good.
And can I also just mention, and before I play the rest of this video, I do want to mention one more thing, and that's really important, right? He just looks like shit. Do you guys see this? Like his skin tone, like his demeanor, his eyes are half closed. He's not doing any of this anymore. Like his hands, like Donald Trump, whenever he talked, he's very, I need Europe to go good. I need it to be good and go good and white and good. And he